Okay, I think we're live. So welcome to a surprise live stream here at Small YouTubers Boost. I think actually at some point said I was going to do one today, but yeah. So just getting set up here like I do. Still learning how all this works. Getting chat set up here, hopefully. Okay, chat is set up. Now I need to... Alright, I think this should be the right link. I'm just going to share this and then we're going to start. Hey, we already got people here. That's awesome. I'm just going to quickly post in a couple of groups that I'm doing this. And then we can do some channel reviews, tutorials, talk about stuff, whatever. I'm not sure how long I'm going to have to do this, so we'll just go until we can't go no more. All right, I'm doing live channel. That's not how you spell live. Live channel reviews, tutorials, and Q&A. Put the link in there, copy that, post it to Small YouTubers Boost, and let's see, there's a couple other groups. I run Vancouver YouTubers, so I'm going to put it there. Let's see, what other groups should I put that in? Oh yeah, YouTube group community, admin there as well, post that. So we'll be starting shortly. I appreciate your patience as I get things set up. This is a one and done. Once I get this stuff out there, then you'll have my full attention. And then I can start doing some channel reviews, tutorials, Q&A, whatever you're in the mood for requesting. We're going to go chronological order like we always do. So the first person in chat gets the first request, and then we'll go on from there. That is part of why it is super smart to have a subscription to Small YouTubers Boost with notifications on. We had at least 2 people show up in chat before I shared this anywhere. That's because they're smart people. They know what they're doing. Not to say that people who don't aren't. That's part of what we're here to address. We're trying to help you, you know, maybe YouTube a little smarter, a little bit more efficiently, a little bit more effectively. Got to apologize. I kept saying I was going to do live streams, and then I kept bailing on them. This looks like one last group to share too. Life gets in the way, so sorry about that. But I'm here now for what time there is, you know, here for a good time, not a long time. Is that the saying? Okay, so wish there was a way that I could make this chat always stay on top. Okay. Anyways, so we've got at least 2 people chatting. It's around my dinner time, but I haven't had dinner, and I don't want to get all hangry on you, so I'm just going to have some snacks. So, you know, if John comes along, he can enjoy the mukbang dimension of things. Can you see me? Can you hear me okay? Is everything fine out there in YouTubeville? By the way, hello, FluxNet Games, Amanda Lee 82. And, oh, you know what? I was going to get myself some chips and salsa. I forgot the salsa. So I'll have to make do with my dill chips. And Josie Show. You've been here before, I remember. Greetings from Amsterdam. That's one benefit of doing this at a slightly different time of day. And get a different audience. Different mix. Anyways, FluxNet Games, you were the first to come in and chat. So, would you like me to review your channel? Would you like me to show you some tutorial or something? Got a question? I am the administrator in the Small YouTubers Boost Facebook group. 53,000 strong now, I think. I've been filming since 2001, on YouTube since 2006. Remonetized as of 2 days ago. Channel review for FluxNet Games, you got it. Now, when I see your name, the first thing that comes to mind for me is, I think there's a card game called Flux, but I think it's spelled with 2 X's. I would be pleasantly surprised if you're a tabletop gamer, but I suspect you'll be a video gamer. Congrats on remonetization. Thank you. Yeah, it was a long 11 months. 10 months of getting to the requirements, and then another month of waiting to see if it would be okay. My big concern, sort of at the end there, was that I was going to have gone through all of that effort only to not get remonetized, because I did have some older video content ID matches, and I had heard a couple people in the group talking about how they got rejected for that. Although YouTube rarely gets that specific, so they were probably guessing that that's why. It might not have been the reason. Anyways, FlexNet Games. So what I've got set up here, I'm in Firefox, and I have my TubeBuddy plugin enabled, and it's under my Vacation Impossible account. Under that account, I have a Legend account. Small YouTubers Boost, I have a free one there, so I can show you free versus Legend. But this one just shows you that. So when you see on the right-hand side here, the Search Explorer and all that kind of stuff you might not have, that's the TubeBuddy plugin integration. If you're interested in getting TubeBuddy, there is a link below. It's an affiliate link, so if you do happen to get the paid version, I get something. But really, this is just about helping you find tools that work well for you. I've been approached by at least 8 different companies and app developers and whatever as admin of the group, asking me to, you know, have a sponsorship or promote them or endorse them or whatever. And out of all of them, so far only 2 of them have shown any merit whatsoever, and the strongest is absolutely TubeBuddy. So that's why I mention it. It's not about that other stuff. It's about the fact that I think it's a super powerful tool. I don't know how I made it this far without them. Apologize for the eating, but you get a free mukbang. Just so I don't get hangry. And then I start saying everybody's channels suck or something. I don't know. 2 rules, as usual, for these things. 1, I will not be subscribing to any channels. Partly because I don't want this to be about you giving me a sales pitch and trying to get just 1 more subscriber. I hope this is actually more valuable than just 1 more subscriber for you. I might decide, after seeing something, to subscribe something on my own time, but that's not what this is about. Max Hickson, good example. I reviewed him last time, and I subscribed to his channel. I watched pretty much all of his music videos right before I went on vacation last time, and that's great. I recommend him. And I'm not going to be viewing any videos, just because 1 long Let's Play could take up this entire session. I don't want to get a content ID match. In fact, I'm going to turn off my speaker. I don't want you thinking I'm trying to host your content. I'm not. I'm here to try and help your channels do a little bit better. So, FlexNet Games. 124 subscribers and 82 videos. I assume you have your custom URL. So the description I'm seeing, actually, you know, first of all, make sure I got the right people. Not seeing other channels, but let me just compare. Yeah. Hey, John. Oh, just back from 2 fights. That's cool. Got it. It goes in the can now. You got to edit them. Fun work for you ahead. So you get a little bit of mukbang action. Not the official thing, but this is just me keeping me from getting hangry. It's dinner time. I don't have my dinner, so I don't know when I'm going to be interrupted here. So the description here on FlexNet Games that I see in my search, and that you can see now too, thanks to OBS. Just what is FlexNet Games? Here at that gets harder to say the more you say it. I swear I haven't been drinking. Here at FlexNet Games, I'll be doing everything Pokemon related. I'll be doing Nuzlocks for every ... That's where it drops off. So, that's good. I mean, your profile picture is a little busy. So, you know, it's a little hard to see at smaller resolutions, but it's pretty good. I don't think I have a specific recommendation. The text is a little tricky, but I like the color contrast you've got going on there, and the drop shadow's quite nice. So, your description, just what is FlexNet Games? I like the fact that you want to answer that question right away, but restating it, I'm not sure that that's great. And immediately thereafter, you say here at FlexNet Games. So if you were trying to have keyword alignment and SEO for your name, duplication doesn't do much for you in terms of in the same thing. In this case, your channel description. So in the days of Web 1.0, when like Alta Vista and Yahoo were you know, creating their search indexes, and they sent their very early proto spiders out across the internet to try and web crawl things, if you had the same word multiple times, you got sort of a higher ranking for that, because it said, well, you know, you're talking about it a lot. Clearly, that's what you're about. And so people began to abuse it, and I may have on GeoCities done so myself back in the day a little bit, not to any success. But, you know, I learned by failing, so you don't have to, hopefully. And so keyword packing became a thing where you would just take, I ran a Star Trek GeoCities page like, you know, tons of other nerds did. Although I got cutting edge news and spoilers that other people didn't get, even like Trek Today, I was a little ahead of them on stuff. I would like camp in old celebrity online chats in like Yahoo and AOL, and I would be able to ask, you know, I asked Jerry Ryan and Michael Dorn and people questions about what they just filmed, and I was able to tease them out. Some of my stuff actually got printed in TV Guide, so I did okay. Getting off topic. The point is that at the very bottom, I would just say, you know, Star Trek, copy and paste 12 times or something, hoping that I would, you know, that I was doing keyword packing. And the trick was I set the font to the same color as my background so that people wouldn't see it. So it wouldn't impact the user experience, but hopefully it would influence the meta tagging and the spiders. That kind of thing doesn't work anymore. Once is enough. Duplications don't count. So in this case, I would recommend dropping off just what is FluxNet Games. And begin with, here at FluxNet Games, I'll be doing... That sounds future tense. You're probably already doing it and continuing to do it, so I would make it tense-free. Here at FluxNet Games, that's going to trick me out a few more times. Drinking game. Every time I say it wrong... No, I'm kidding. Here at Flux... Now I got to be careful in case some of you are actually doing it. I don't want alcohol poisoning. Anyways, here at FluxNet Games, it's everything Pokemon. You could probably just say that. And then I'll be doing Nuzlocke's... and then go on from there. And then you can get a little bit more detail in, and the core of your message and the fact that your Pokemon gets earlier. And that's one thing that current theories, and TubeBuddy kind of agrees with this, is the earlier you mention it could be important. So you get that critical stuff, that Pokemon word, earlier. Looking at most used tags, Pokemon Randomizer, Nuzlocke Challenge, Emerald Gameplay. So that seems like it's probably on brand in terms of related tags. The search score, the TubeBuddy search score over here is good for your channel name. And dive into the channel, and oh look, there's a trailer, that's good, but I'm going to pause it. Left-handed, I'm right-handed, but I had food in my right hand. Welcome to the channel. Okay, you have got a very busy banner. It's not a bad one, but it's pretty busy. The text is a little hard to read. I see what you've inverted the cyan and the black from your profile picture. I would recommend not doing that. I say keep it the same. I think it looks better if it was the blue with the black drop shadow rather than inverting it. I think it'd be easier to read. I think it would stand out against the background a lot better. Because, for example, if you look at ROM hacks, you've got cyan, a light blue, on top of a multi-shade blue behind it. That's not very high contrast. So I would recommend also for consistency to keep it matched with your profile. And you've got some Pokemon, presumably Pokemon, I don't know, I'm not strong in this. But on either side of your text and your profile picture, which again appears, which I think is fine. But they don't pop out at all. They get lost in the background. If you could, I mean, I assume that those are PNGs with a transparent background that you layered on. So if you could do a drop shadow on those, give them a shadow, not necessarily as thick, not 100%, like a slightly dispersed one, then they'd pop really quite nicely. So, new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I've ranted about this before. Take it with a grain of salt. I'm no expert. I don't think having your upload schedule and your banner is a great idea. You want your banner to be part of your style and communicate information about what you're about. And while your upload schedule is information, I personally don't care a lot about upload schedules. If I'm not engaged with your content, if I'm not interested, if I'm not wanting to come back, I'm not going to care when there's a new video. And so mentioning your upload schedule maybe in your end card or something of a video makes a bit more sense because, you know, people have, if they've been hooked and they watched it to the end, these are the people who are going to want to watch more. And so telling them that select portion of your audience the upload schedule is probably better. And I mean, as I've recently experienced with 2 members of my near family getting into hospital over the last month, life gets in the way unexpectedly. And so having that upload schedule front and center, if something happens to get in the way, if you break your leg or something, that's one more piece of stress you're going to have around that crisis where it's like, oh, I'm not keeping my word with my subscribers and my fans. So I would bring it off the banner for those reasons. So I'm seeing here you got a Patreon link. Looks like a Discord. What is this guy? Streamlabs. Okay, I need to learn about that. You got Twitter and Facebook, so you're doing pretty good there. And I have to say, I'm curious. You have a Patreon. I ask this every time I see a Patreon. You have 125 subscribers. Are you getting a lot of traction on Patreon? Is Patreon driving traffic to your YouTube channel, or is it the other way around? And are you offering something different on Patreon to your patrons that they wouldn't get elsewhere? Do they get early access to videos? Do you write blog posts or let them pick your next topic? Or are you giving them additional value, or is it more like a donation function? I'm just curious how you're using it. I haven't gotten into Patreon. I was a patron of Pat Contry for a little while. And you know, it was pretty good. I'll probably do it again sometime in the future. But I haven't set one up where people are my patrons because no one's asked for it. And so my personal belief is that I'm not going to set that up until people are asking for it, and that might never happen. And if it does happen, then I'll do it because my audience demands it. But that's my personal take on it. So, welcome to my channel. The image I've paused your trailer on is kind of cool. I like that. You got good contrast, crisp, clear images there, so that's good. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for checking out my little slice of YouTube. Here's the problem. Your title and the description that I see tells me nothing. Welcome to my Pokemon channel. Welcome to the FluxNet Games Pokemon channel. I said it right that time. I'm rather proud of myself. Your channel trailer is your channel trailer, but it's also a video, and it's searchable, and it has its own analytics behind it. And this has 16 views, which, you know, it seems to be mid-range for one of your videos from what I'm seeing here, at least from the recent uploads. And this is only a month old. So, but, you know, make your SEO count for you. Talk more early in there about what you're all about. The description should, as I see it here, at least mention these things in your banner. Nuzlocke's, ROM hacks. I don't know if I'm saying that Nuzlocke thing right. Unpacks. Those 3 words should appear at least in there. That might be a place to put your upload schedule if you want. So now I am going to do my soliloquy on Above the Fold. So those of you who've watched a live stream before, you know this well. You can sing along at home. Back in the day in newspapers were at newsstands that people would walk by on the street, and they'd glance at them. And they would be folded. So everything on the first page above that fold was visible to people walking down the street. It's high visibility, and so advertisers would pay more to put their ads there. And only the most interesting stories, front page news, would be above the fold. So this is prime real estate. You need to treat everything that appears on your channel, on your video, whatever, without having to click read more as higher value than the stuff that's after clicking read more to see it. So where you say videos used for clips, I think that should probably be further down because you need to be describing what this is about. You need to entice people in to watch. And none of the words you're using here are words that people search on YouTube, generally speaking. Maybe slice, I don't think so. And again, this is probably not what they would be looking for, in all honesty. It'd be like how to slice an orange or something. And so describe more about what you're about, what your channel is about, and that will help with your SEO for that video and your channel at large. You got uploads, blue, random, Nuzlocke, silver, wedlock. I don't understand what this stuff is because I'm not into Pokemon, but this is really good. I would recommend at the very bottom adding your top videos as well so people can instantly see what you're about. I'm guessing you're probably pretty new to YouTube. You've got a popular channels thing here, which is good to have. But if you ever see that turning to related channels, that means YouTube's really knowing what you're about. You got something here called the network. I like that. That's a cool sort of branding. And you got some other channels. So that's great. And one of them is clearly about Pokemon, so it's on brand. So that's nice. Good job there. And your thumbnails are a little busy. So the font you're using, I guess, is a Pokemon font, or at least it's close to it, so it's stylistically on brand, and that's good. I think that, well, it's interesting, because, you know, the blue one here, you've got a bit of consistency in your thumbnails and numbering convention in them, and that's pretty nice. Silver as well. So, I don't know, I would just suggest maybe your use of font be, think about visibility at low resolution. You know, when you're about to add that custom thumbnail, zoom out and be like, hold on. You know, if I zoom out pretty far, how's that going to look on a phone, for example? For good readability and consistency of look. But I think you're doing all right there. Obviously, those are all custom thumbnails, so it's good that you're using that feature. I'm going to take a look at your playlists. Okay. All right, you got some playlists. That's good. Wolfenstein 2, that's interesting. I'm going to check out your About page. What do we got here? So, I see what you did here. The just what is FluxNet games in your description on your channel, you used like a heading. I still think that it can just go away. It makes a bit more sense when I see it here, but I still don't think it's doing you any favors. Going generation by generation. You see, if that was above the cutoff in the search results, I think that would have been better. And, you know, try to do the little things right as much as you can to look professional in general. I've talked about that in previous live streams. I won't go into it. But just owl. You have, it's ill right now. You want capital I apostrophe LL for I'll have top 10 videos once a week. I'm not a grammar Nazi. I'm just trying to help you look a little bit more professional. The signing off thing is Flux of FluxNet Games. Okay, so your Flux. If you as a person, as a character, as an on-screen talent, whatever, voiceover, voice, whatever you are, if you're calling yourself Flux, that's cool. That's my first clue, is at the end of your description. So, maybe talk a little bit more about that. You know, and instead of saying Al, you could be like, Flux has, you know. But this is pretty good. We have TCG there, which I presume is like the card game, something like that. For something like that for SEO, I would have an opportunity also to spell it out so that it locks onto both the abbreviation and the full thing. You got your email, that's good. You're in the United States. Nearly 3,000 views. And you've been at YouTube since the end of June. So, you know, for a channel this young, you're doing quite well. Let's take a look at Channelytics. This is a TubeBuddy feature. Just shows me a little bit about your channel tags. People forget about channel tags all the time. I did for the longest time. So I got 82 videos. Since June, that's impressive. You're obviously keeping up with that upload schedule, so that's pretty good. So, yeah, your channel tags, you only have 4. I would suggest adding a few more. You know, silver, blue, the card game or whatever TCG stands for. Pardon my dyslexia. And so put in that. If you're struggling to find out what to talk about in an about section, your channel trailer description, or your channel tags, look at what your most popular videos are. What's really resonating with people? And you might want to highlight those. So, excuse me, that's just a light touch, but there's other people waiting, so I'm going to be moving on. Ooh, Sunny's here. Hi, Sunny. I managed to kind of pull off a live stream. We'll see how long this goes. All right. Amanda Lee 82, are you still here? And what would you like? Do you want a tutorial, a channel review, or do you have a question for me, or I don't know, something else? If you're still here. I was going to get caught up on chat for a second here. Groan. Don't know what John was groaning about. An old guy YouTube page. I don't know what that means. Am I an old guy? Don't answer that. Hoping to get a new computer. Easy video editing program, Ray. If you don't mind a little criticism there, I think that you're focusing on the wrong thing. Because if it's easy, then it's probably limited in its functionality. And so I think what you want is a robust, functional, professional piece of software if you can get your hands on it. And I use Adobe Premiere Pro CS6. It was the last version of Premiere that you could just buy outright without a subscription. It works very well for me. I find it to be relatively intuitive, and there's a lot of like tutorial videos out there. I could make some tutorial videos here. I could show you something right now if you guys wanted. You know, there's a lot of resources out there for something like that. So I think that that's, you know, because then you have somewhere to grow. You know, if you're using Movie Maker or some other simple thing, then it doesn't give you a whole lot of functionality, and you're going to keep running into, oh, I want to do, and I can't in this software. And then you almost have to start over. So I would suggest going with something that the big boys use, is my advice. What's Lath listening to? Hi, right back. Hi, Mr. TPG My. So FluxNet was saying that the Patreons get early access to the videos. So that's cool. Do you have a lot of Patreons? Feel free not to disclose it if you don't want to. I'm just curious. Rare cards from the Unpacked that I recorded. So you physically send them a card Is that what you do? That's awesome. What am I eating? I'm eating dill pickle potato chips. I cut off the brand. I don't remember. Yeah, I think it's Walmart brand. Cheapo, but it's actually tasty. What do I think? What am I drinking? Do you guys want to know, or do you guys want to debate it in chat? The question was, what do you think he is? At least he is a little slower than Nick. Yeah, I kind of look a little bit like him, I suppose. I go fast because I want to get to as many people as possible and cover as much stuff and give you guys as much value. Maybe it's better if I slow down. It might be better for me. It might be better for you. Because a lot of the things I say are applicable to multiple channels. So if it applies to one of you, it might apply to all. So maybe I should not try to rush. Get to channels as I can. Beard is 11 out of 10. Why, thank you. John would not disagree. John would disagree. He always wants, like, he wants me to go full ZZ Top for some reason. Let's see here. Yeah, I just got started. John is debating with himself about whether or not he wants me to review his channel. I've done that twice. If you've changed it drastically, yeah, I don't, like, yeah. No, you've got 2 channel reviews, John. Let me end the debate for you. Never-ending bag of chips. It was nearly empty when I started. Final Cut. That's an Apple product, right? I hear good things about it, but I'm not an Apple guy, so. Yeah, sorry it wasn't Chex. I'm not a fan of Chex. All right. It looks like I'm caught up with chat. I don't know that Amanda's still here, but let's look at her channel anyways. She can catch it on the replay. Maybe she's here and she just walked away from the keyboard. Maybe what's going on with her channel is going on with yours. All right. I think I'm keeping, you know, the hangry vibes at bay. Maybe I'll stop chomping into my microphone for a little bit here. All right, Amanda Lee, 82. What do we got here? And one thing I want to talk about, if her name is legit Amanda Lee and she was born in 1982, it's a lot of personal information you're giving out with your username there. I would think about that. I don't know. You know, what if you blow up on YouTube and people want to try and steal your identity? You've made it really easy for them from a starting place. Or what if, you know, there's, you know, you get a rabid fan that absolutely loves you and doesn't appreciate boundaries, or somebody who absolutely hates you and doesn't appreciate boundaries? I'd be concerned about those sorts of things, but that's just me. Maybe I'm paranoid. I would even tell people you live in Ontario, Canada. Well, at least you didn't give the city away. I might be paranoid. And hey, I'm a fellow Canadian. Us Canadians are maybe just friendly. So anyways, the expression in your profile picture is not super engaging. So, I mean, I'm a little curious, I'll admit. But I'm thinking that something a bit more happy, welcoming. I don't want to sound overly critical or anything there. I'm not criticizing your appearance. It's just the vibe that I'm getting. Just looking at your picture, I'm guessing that maybe you're a makeup channel, but it seems like a picture that was taken just kind of randomly. So my first impression is that you'd be a makeup channel, but not a very professional one. No criticism there. I'm just trying to be honest so that you can maybe help prevent other people from forming that same sort of opinion. So searching your name's a good search term, 50 out of 100. It's interesting. The most used tag is a malformed website URL, which looks like morph.com, but they've dropped the colon in one of the / so that actually wouldn't work. That's kind of weird. Glitter eyeshadow makeup, so yeah, BoxyCharm. Oh, it's interesting. Some of these tags are weird. BoxyCharm / November 2018 BoxyCharm Boxy Beauties. That looks like some keyword packing there. Are people really search? You know what? I need to know. Are people actually searching this? Let me click on this. Oh, no, wait, that just did the search. That's not what I wanted. Oh, actually, hold on. If I do that, it'll have the side panel anyway, so sure, that'll probably tell me. For one thing, it's adjusting it. It's actually showing it as a good keyword. Volumes are slightly above competition, both of those being low, and then it's breaking down into those. That's interesting. Let me go back here. Oh, yeah, that would just give me the searches. Okay. Keyword stats. Most views, least views. How is least views more than most views? I almost never use this. I have much to learn. And so it looks like your keywords appearing in titles and descriptions and tags. Well, this keyword isn't, but that's fine. It's your name, so no worries there. Let's go on to the description. You got 778 subscribers. That's a pretty good count for 79 videos. It's more than the last guy. Or is it less? It's in the neighborhood of. It's less than, I think. So your subscriber to video ratio is higher. Hello, my name is Amanda. I do unboxings, cosmetics, hair product reviews, and trials. I live in Ontario, Canada. I'm looking to meet. So it kind of reads like a profile on a social media website. And while YouTube is a social media website, it's also kind of like television. So that's not the kind of description that you would see on a Netflix. You know, if you're browsing through Netflix, or you're on your channel guide for your cable provider, and you're like, what's this show about? And there's a brief description. I think we should think more like that. There's a reason they call us channels. So, I mean, maybe, yeah, maybe we should all take a moment and go look at our own descriptions for our channels and be like, would this be appropriate in that venue? I don't know. So, I think hello, my name is Amanda isn't helping. The only searchable term there is Amanda, and that's just a first name. It's relatively common. So, and on I do, again, I've talked about this in previous live streams. It's very conversational. I don't think this is the place to be conversational, so I think just begin with the word unboxings. Unboxings, cosmetics, hair product reviews. Also, you're missing the O in products, and you have hair products reviews. There's one too many S's, I think, and trials. I live in Ontario, Canada. So it could be unboxings, cosmetics, hair product reviews, and trials from Ontario, Canada, and go from there. I think that would flow a little bit better, sound like a bit more of that kind of a Netflix show description, like the kind of thing you'd see in TV Guide when that used to be a thing. Can't believe I mentioned TV Guide twice on a YouTube video. What year is this? So interesting, looking at some of the things here. You're like, this is the other results are all from your channel, which is good. And so your thumbnails are not bad. So that's kind of good that you've got going there. Let's dive into the channel. And I'm going to pause the video here for reasons that I said before. So your banner is a makeup palette, I believe that is called. I'm a boy. And so it's not bad. It's interesting. It does communicate pretty much right away. This is a makeup channel, cosmetics channel, so that's good. You don't have any social links up there, and yeah, the image is good and bad. Like, I kind of like the crispness of it and the style. It's slightly asymmetrical, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It feels like the image isn't fully balanced. Like, you could have put something on the left if one day you get a caricature of yourself, like Talency can do. Link below if you're curious about Talency, like I've been using on Facebook and some other things. Or if you get a logo for yourself, you could put that on the left-hand side. At first blush, get it? I liked it. But then I'm looking at it a bit more carefully. I can kind of make out some of the descriptions for the makeup there. Alliance and Perfect, I'm seeing, spelt with a U. That's interesting. But it also looks like it's not entirely clean. And I thought it was just sort of a stylistic shading, but then I realized I think that's a shadow from your hand there. So, you know, it's pretty close to something that's actually pretty good, but I think that it could be, you know, if you were to retake that photo, clean it up a little bit, like physically clean the thing, and yeah, if you want to have that shadow effect, which is kind of nice, make it so that your thumb's not there, put your arm up, and then it looks like a stylistic shading. That'd be a pretty decent effect. And then, yeah, so social links on the right, like functional ones, we'll talk about that in a minute, and then maybe something a little bit on the left to balance the image. So, you've got a channel trailer here, which is 2 minutes and 27 seconds. It's a little on the long side, but it might work depending on the kind of content you make. 7 months old, 123 views. New backdrop, Instagram, Twitter, email. So the title is New Backdrop, period, smiley, and introduce you to my animals and boyfriend. So that title could be tighter, a little bit more professional with some consistent capitalization. Like, for example, you capitalize B in back, but not D in drop. Again, I'm being picky, but I'm trying to help you guys look a little bit more professional. So maybe I'm being harsh because I'm hungry. Hopefully it's okay. So new backdrop. And yeah, even if it just said new backdrop and I introduce you to my animals and boyfriend, that's fine. You could make a joke there. It could be like my animals and boyfriend, and then in parentheses be like, no, my boyfriend's not one of the animals, or something like that, or my boyfriend's not an animal, or he is, or I don't know. I think there could be a good play on your sentence structure there. I'm having trouble making the joke work in my head, but I think there's something there. But I would remove the smiley face because it's not showing up as an emoji, and I would drop the period after drop for the title. And then in your description, you just say the new backdrop and not the other part. So mention the fact that you're introducing the audience to your animals and your boyfriend. And, you know, one of the things they say is, you know, you get a lot of characters in your description of your videos, and so use them. You can basically put an entire blog post in there. And that might seem a little weird. It might not seem like the best use of your time. If you have a blog, maybe copy and paste if it lines up with your video. But YouTube is an algorithm. It's a machine, and the machine runs on data, and it's hungry for data. And so the more data you give it, the more it'll know about you. So try to put, you know, a good description in there. I say minimum 3 to 5 lines, not necessarily sentences, but like lines across, minimum. Trying to talk about what you're talking about. And you might be restating what's in the video. And don't worry if you think that that means people won't click play, because I don't think that that's a concern. It doesn't really happen. You know, the video will be playing probably before they see the description. And most people will just watch video without panning down. And that's people. But the algorithm will absolutely read every word in your description. So, you know, just say it and list out the animals. Hey, you know, my cat, my dog, my lizard, and my boyfriend, or whatever. Just looking at the angle of the shot is interesting, because you've got what looks like artwork or a backdrop behind you in the video, and that looks nice. But in my first season or two, what I called them on my channel, my first 2 sort of road trips, I frequently had the camera in my lap, and I got a lot of hate comments, and justifiably so, and some constructive ones about, hey, you know, could we see something other than up your nose? And so that's the thing that I try to be conscious of, is to avoid that angle, just because at least for me, I find it's not super flattering, and people often get distracted by like nose hairs and other things, whereas if it's sort of at level, slightly below or above, is kind of a better camera position. But having not watched the video, I can't say too much about it. You've got your email there, which is interesting. I'm curious if you've been contacted for sponsorships or anything. Your playlist here, all that I'm seeing on your channel is uploads. So knowing the number of videos you have was well over 70, I would also suggest bare minimum having 1 or 2 playlists on specific subjects. Like I noticed you have some live chats. You could have one for live chats, you know, updates on your channel, and then other things about, you know, makeup or whatever. And top videos. That's just something that you edit your channel here, and you know, YouTube does the work for you. You just have to add it. And then as one video gets more views and moves up, it all updates automatically. That's no work that you have to do, but I think it looks good. I'm curious if you have playlists. I'm just going to take a look. I'm there. That means you liked one of my videos. That's awesome. That's actually, oh God, that's this video. That's me looking at your channel. We have reached like total meta internet. This is like peak internet right here, peak YouTube. It's recursive small YouTubers boost. I'm reviewing your channel, looking at me reviewing your channel. That's very funny for me. So anyways, liked videos. Christmas music, I'm guessing that's probably not things you've uploaded. And then Amanda's I Am a Creator Friends. So I'm not seeing a playlist here of your content. People often forget about playlists and the opportunity that has to bring traffic to your channel, get videos noticed. Playlists are searchable and searched all the time. When I search, for example, if I'm searching for a channel I'm going to do a review on the live stream here, and I get 3 or 4 different videos but no channels, I can filter it to just channels. Similarly, I could filter it to just playlists, and sometimes people want to do that, for example, if they're looking for Christmas music. So, for example, if you are a musician, then you absolutely should have a playlist of all of your songs in case somebody just wants to listen to your songs. Or they're at like a party and you've got good party music, or they're having a dinner party and it's like soft jazz in the background or whatever, and they might just put it on. They might put it on repeat. You get tons of watch time out of that. So playlists are great. You can mark videos as having like an official playlist and others. So you can have one video in multiple playlists. These are good things to have. Just going to look at your channelytics. Let's do that. This is a TubeBuddy tool from the plugin here. Yeah, no social links and no channel tags. Go into your channel in YouTube and Creator Studio and just throw down some tags, some keywords for your channel, because it helps. It helps both if they're searching just your channel, and it also actually kind of helps the video searches as well, because it shows that alignment. If you've got the consistency of use of keywords, YouTube's like, you're probably about that subject. You're probably about makeup, cosmetics, cruises, whatever it is. So those are good to add, and that's an easy win. It's actually kind of impressive that you reach this level of subscribers not having some of these things. So if you put in these few missing pieces, you could really potentially take off, and you can get some synergy going. So that would be all right. And social links. I've posted a video on this channel about how I feel about Twitter. Just sign up, tie it into your YouTube account. You do it once and you forget it, and it makes you look more professional, and then you have a presence on Twitter that you don't have to maintain. And it locks down your username. That's a super short version of the rant. So at the very least, Twitter. Because it's easy. Set it and forget it. Let's check the About page here. Yeah, so it's interesting that you have your email here, but you don't have it down here. So, oh, and you include your birthday. So we know your first name, your last name, your complete date of birth, and the province and country you live in. So my advice would be to think about the benefits of having that there. Is it bringing you traffic? Do people identify with you if they've got the same birthday? Did they send you birthday presents and greetings? I don't know. But I can't imagine that's doing much for you. So I would take a critical eye at that and think, is this helping or not? And if it's not helping, then you can use the space better in some other way. Talk about your best video. Something. Talk about those animals and the boyfriend. Whatever. So you've got your Instagram here, but it's not a clickable link. If you add a link below as a social link, then it'll be clickable, and it will also appear in your banner, make your banner look a little more professional and a little bit more dynamic, I think. So move the Instagram and the Twitter down. Oh, so you do have Twitter. That's good. Move the Instagram and the Twitter down below into the actual links so they'd all become functional. And I would recommend putting your email where, you know, sort of the contact details go, so that it'll be masked from spiders and bots. These are pieces of software that go and they troll the internet looking for things that are formatted like an email. Something at something dot something. That's the structure they look for. They collect it and then they spam you to death. So make it so that a human has to click to see it, and then you'll probably only get more serious business opportunities. And you want to correct the spelling of opportunities. It should be IE, not Y. But anyways, you're doing very good with your subscriber growth. You've been around since March of 2017. So, I mean, in that time frame, getting that number of subscribers is, you're driving the subscribers quite well. I am now going to go back to chat and see what I've missed. And also, sorry, the next person would be, I think I've reviewed you before, but the Josie Show, I think that was when I was still doing these on Facebook Live, and I was thinking I was like in a hotel or something. I could be wrong about that. But again, you want channel review, I'll look at it again. If I did before, I could be confusing you with someone else. That happens. Or if you want a tutorial on something, or you've got a question, something about administrating a large Facebook group, whatever. I'm just going to get caught up on chat here. Okay, my chat is a little glitchy. Do we request the reviews here or somewhere else? Pals, I reviewed you before. So yeah, you do here. I think I reviewed you when you were gone. You should go back and watch some of my other live streams, because I know I'm like 80% confident I reviewed your channel before. And the way I do it is chronologically, and so maybe that's why you missed it, is because I go in the order that people chatted. So the earlier you say anything in chat, the earlier I will get to you, and we just go chronologically. I don't have a better system. I'm open to bribes and other ideas for a better system, but as it stands right now, that's the best, fairest way I can think to do these things. And that's also a big part of why I don't do video reviews, is because it would take so much time. I wouldn't be able to help other people. I probably wouldn't be as universal. And so if I were to ever do something like that, I'd probably have to charge. I don't know. So let's see here. Ray's asking, so a person shouldn't use your name. That's a fair question. I don't know. I mean, I'm a big fan of Pat Contry, and he uses his real name, and that's fine. Everyone knows James Rolfe's name, and, you know, Felix's name is up there as PewDiePie, so I don't know what the risk is. I grew up in a time, you know, and getting onto the internet when it was all very new. And so there was still a lot of concerns about predators and identity theft and stuff like that. And identity theft actually has really kind of become a thing. So I don't know. It's a choice. I think that if you have a channel name that is more searchable than a name, then I think just from an SEO standpoint and a marketing standpoint, that's good. If you are your brand, and to say that clearly, if you are your brand, if you're a vlog or it's about your personality or it's about you and your life, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, mine is about me and my travels. So, but we're an ensemble. I could be divorced from it. But the point is, if it's all about you, if you make some very public misstep, will that tank your brand? Or do you have a brand that can survive you making a mistake, I guess? Lots of things to think about. And I mean, for small YouTubers, this might not be really worth your time. I don't know. But I'm all about visualizing success and being prepared for success. So that's sort of it. That's why you know my name is Ray, but hopefully not too much more than that. And I'm in Vancouver, but that's about it. But that's just my personal choice. And also, if look at the search terms that in your analytics, look at the search terms that are driving people to your page. If your name is part of it, then using your name is working for you for whatever reason. Maybe you have your own celebrity that you're doing well. Ludacris was asking, did the YouTube purge affect anyone here? It affected both of my channels. I lost 2 subscribers on Vacation Impossible and 1 here from Small YouTubers Boost. I didn't get a notification in Creator Studio that said that was why. I got the generic notification that you might see a drop. So I don't know if it was the purge or just people unsubscribing, but I've already made 1 back on Vacation Impossible, so small impact to me so far. Maybe they haven't hit me yet. Maybe it's going to be like right before midnight I'm going to get tanked. I hope not. I really hope that I have legit people. My channel is mostly about gold. Okay. The element, the metal, it is an investment property. Gold can mean a lot of things. Let's see if we get there. People saying nice things about you. Thank you. Guy says, can you boost my, and then it's blank. So I don't know what you're asking. And it's interesting when people sub to a page and then bail. Yeah, that's a dodgy practice. It was really rampant on vid.me before they went under last December. Geez, it's been like a year since they died. Moment of silence for vid.me. I said a moment, not a minute. We're moving on. And so I was constantly getting like subscribed or followed or whatever the hell they called it. And then they would instantly not. And so I would go to like look and they were already gone. And I think what they were doing is they were trying to trigger the notifications to trigger people to look at their page. And I think that's the dirty, dirty trick. And I'm sure that YouTube will not treat people kindly who do that. But I suspect that's why they do that. Because it might, depending on what your notification settings are, you might get a pop-up in your app, in the desktop web page. You might get an email. I'm actually thinking of turning those emails off for my Vacation Impossible page, and I'm like, that feels like I'm going Hollywood, like not in a good way. And I like getting those emails, but now that I've hit my 1,000 threshold, it's kind of like I'm focusing more on views than subscribers, so it's less of a focus. I don't know, something I'm thinking about. Used to do movie clips, now live feeds. Yes, Achilles Melee. You should upload at least. You've got videos in the can at least once a week. Get them up. Okay, let's see here. Someone lost 4 subs. YouTubeception. Yeah, that was funny. Ray says he should use more tags. If you're having... Okay, yeah, he talks here about it. I still haven't paid for the TubeBuddy. Now, sure. Not sure if I really want to spend the money. Well, there's 3 tiers. I recommend going for the cheapest one. Because when you got the free one, it gives you 3 tag suggestions. And here's a little trick. You can add them, save it, refresh the page, and you'll get 3 new ones. So you can kind of do that, but it's super tedious. And so... I don't know. And then if you end up with like 3 that you don't want to use, then you're kind of like, well, now I'm stuck. I think it's worth it. I don't know that you need the legend version like I have. I kind of went off the deep end and got the full meal deal. But I think even like the cheapest paid option, give it a try for like a month. You know, and if it doesn't work out for you, then you know you're out. Like what's if you have like sufficient discounts, it's like what, $6, something like that. And if you're a member of Small YouTubers Boost Facebook group, check the announcement section, and there's a discount code that'll save you 20%. But I would recommend giving it a try, just even at the cheapest level for 1 month. It's the cost of like a sandwich. If you use, you know, the discount code. Oh yeah, yeah. There's something about a free temporary upgrade that they're doing as well. I haven't had time to look into it, but I did see the tweet about that as well. Okay, Josie Show says that yeah, okay, that she would like a channel review. I'm assuming it's a she. I knew someone named Josie in high school. They spelled it with an E on the end, but sidebar. I think I'm gonna have a granola bar. Oh, for those of you who are guessing about the beverage, it's cola. It's Western Family Cola. It's no-name cola. Josie Show. Okay, so, you know, that icon looks great at this resolution, but at the smaller one, like as it displays in chat, can't really see it much at all, but it's nice. It's actually a little bit analogous to mine. It's nicer than mine, don't get me wrong, my Vacation Possible one, but it's got the circular thing and the dots and stuff like that. My thinking is, if you take the dots out, move the word "the" up, then you might be able to make things a little bigger with the font, so it might be a bit more readable and visible at lower resolutions. Maybe? I don't know, but it's pretty nice. I like it. I like the sort of, it's like an honor cord going around it almost, like rope. I don't know if that's your intent, but I like it. It's interesting. The first two video results are JTV Ethiopia. What's that all about? And it's interesting, the related searches are The Josh Show. So, if these two things have nothing to do with you, I think you might be having YouTube might be doing a substitution thing on you. Where it's like, you know, you type in one thing into Google and you get different results. It's like, that's not the word I typed. What are you doing to me? I hate that. Some of the most used tags include news, which I doubt that's what you're about. Okay, so your description is, welcome to the Josie Show, in quotes. Our names are Jay, Joe Chen, and Sylvia, and we are currently living and working here in Amsterdam. I would shorten it again. I keep saying this, but then you can maybe add something a bit more on to the end about what you're exactly talking about. Because I'm thinking this is a vlog, based on what I'm seeing, but I don't know. And so say things explicitly, don't make people guess if you can. So say something like, the Josie Show is Jay, Joe Chen, and Sylvia currently living and working, not even dropping, no, drop current, sorry. The Josie Show is Jay, Joe Chen, and Sylvia living and working in Amsterdam. We show you blah. we vlog about our lives. We show you the city. We talk about, I don't know, the economy. Whatever it is that you do. Get it earlier, so when people see it in search like this, they know what you're about. They're more likely to click if it's something they're into. 551 subscribers for 69 videos. That's not bad. I'm curious, did my previous channel review help you at all? Because it was like it was probably about a year ago. If I'm remembering it correctly. Okay, your banner's got some cool stuff going on here. Straight out of Amsterdam, that's cute. Weekly vlogs every Saturday. Again, my personal thing, I drop weekly and every Saturday and just have vlogs. There's also weeklies covering up part of your face. But I talked about that. Subscribe and turn on notifications off to the side is actually not pointing exactly to the subscribe bars, it appears for me. I don't know. I would consider dropping that. Just because, again, as a banner, they don't know you yet. So, are they going to subscribe having not watched anything? And I mean, as a taste thing, I'm not very fond of asking for subscribers. That's probably why I languished with so few subscribers for as long as I did. I know you need to. So there's different schools of thought on that. I would think that, but when you ask, make it actionable. And so, I mean, the subscribe button is there. I just don't know that this is necessarily exactly where people would choose to do that. In fact, I'd be curious if you check your subscriber analytics in Creator Studio and see where people are subscribing. Are they subscribing from your channel page, or are they subscribing from videos that they were watching? I'd be curious to see those stats. And if they are subscribing from your channel page, ignore everything I just said about that, and you're doing the right thing. So you got a PayPal donation link here. And it looks like Google+. You've probably heard my Twitter rant, so I'll spare it. 5 rules for surviving Dutch bike lanes in Amsterdam. That is a cool title. 1,400 views, not bad. 3 months? Yeah, that's pretty good. Hashtag zombie tourist. That's interesting. That's cool. 2 and 3/4 minutes. A little long, but it's not actually a channel trailer. It's just serving as one, and that's okay. Your thumbnail game looks strong. Yeah, you got a lot of different playlists and stuff to look at here. Uploads at the bottom, that's different. Popular at the top, that's cool. Oh, this is interesting. So yeah, 1.4. Yeah, okay, so it's actually your second most viewed video, but it looks like it's neck and neck with the Red Light District one. So that's interesting. I bet you have lots of playlists. Yeah, no, that's good. Bike City. In Vancouver, bike lanes are like an ongoing kind of punchline around here. Channelytics. What does TubeBuddy say about your channel? Yeah, okay. You got some channel tags there. They look good. That's funny. We're experiencing a similar level of growth. I think I got a slight edge there. But, okay. That's cool. Let's check the About page. Oh, you live stream on Sundays. That's cool. I don't know that I have a whole lot to add here. Amsterdam Bike Life is the channels you're referring to, and it's got related channels, so they know what you're about. It's interesting that vidIQ is one of the things that they think you're related to. Do you talk a lot about your growth as a channel, or about creator support, which is what I think Small YouTubers Boost is about? Because if not, I'm curious how why YouTube zeroed in on that. Yeah, so this is all fine. But I would say just sign up for Twitter, lock down your username, and in fact, let's take a second, because I'm not really giving you a whole lot of value here. I freely admit. I'm gonna see. Actually, when I do this, how does that show up on OBS? I'm just curious. I don't know. Anyways, show. Does this exist? Does somebody have it? Oh, you're there. Well, then just tie it in. Link it up. It's easy. Set it and forget it. You're already halfway there. So, yeah, I don't know that I have a whole lot to add at this time. Partly because you're just doing a lot that looks good to me. So I'm going to head back to chat and see how things are going. Ray says he tried to get Nick to review his channel a bunch of times. Yeah, that's one of the benefits of having somebody smaller like me around. I might be able to get to you. Lion's Ground. Hey, man, how you doing? You were the first Facebook group to make me a moderator, so thanks, man. Like, I'm now running a Small YouTubers Boost group with 53,000 members now, and You really help me give me that first sense of how that works and kind of show me the ropes a little bit by letting me moderate your group. So I just want to say thanks, man, sincerely. That's awesome that you're here. I'm honored. You have a very large fan base. That's not why I'm honored. You're a good guy. Okay, let's see here. Ray hit 2,000 subscribers this year. Then I might not be able to help you much. You got double what I got. Yeah, you got a Twitter. That's good. My beard. That's fluff. No, that's not. Thank you. Yeah, and Lions Ground is still here. That's cool. How are you doing, man? Your personal story is amazing, I gotta say. It is inspiring. Definitely that section up. Okay, so let's see. Who would be next? Who would be next? Stupid Robot Fighting League? Yeah. I love you, John, but, you know. I know you were joking. Okay, Starliath the Boss Hunter. I'm seeing that person was, I think, the next person to say something in chat. So, would you like a channel review, a tutorial of something? Or do you have a question that you would like answered? Maybe something about what it's like to run a Facebook group with 53,000 plus small YouTubers in it. Yeah, no, that's largely what I was talking about. Like, because I mean, if I remember correctly, you know, you were homeless, but with a laptop, you were able to basically pull yourself out of poverty through YouTube. I think that's amazing. It's fantastic. A channel opinion. Okay. All right, you got it, the Boss Hunter. I'm guessing you're a gamer, but it could well be wrong. Maybe you help people get revenge against people who have fired them. This is probably going to be my last channel review. Sorry for the short live stream, but hey, I figure short's better than nothing, and this has been fun for me. If you want to catch us, if we do happen to do another surprise short one, subscribe to Small YouTubers Boost here on YouTube. Turn on notifications so that you can be some of the first to know if and when we go live, so you can get in there right away with your tutorial, question, or channel review request. I should probably just quickly plug, we've got our Facebook group. There should be a link below as well to that. It's facebook.com/groups/small YouTubers Boost. There's 53,000 plus small YouTubers in there. And we're all learning together. We're supporting each other through knowledge and inspiration and, you know, collaboration and stuff like that. So it's a great community. I'm super proud and happy to be a part of it. And also, if you want to, buddy, I've been showing you some of the stuff here. There is a link below. And as well, I talked about it briefly. There's something called Talent Z. One of their cool things that I've been testing out recently is they have graphic design services. So I think it's like $7.99 a month, and you get unlimited graphic design services. I had them make me a new profile picture that I'm using on Facebook and Twitter and some other places. And I'm actually using the transparent version in some of my thumbnails. And I'm very, very pleased with that. And I recently got them to test out making a thumbnail for me, and what they came up with was definitely better than what I could have done. So, anyways, those plugs out of the way, let's look at our last channel review. Welcome. In my channel, you will find countless perfectly executed boss battles in HD. All bosses are defeating using the... Cool. I like that. I think that welcome in my channel you will find... None of that's searchable, and so I think you're kind of wasting early space in your channel description. Just say, we've got countless perfectly executed boss battles. I don't know that them being in HD and 1080 is something people care a lot about, so I probably wouldn't bother mentioning that. And so, yeah, just say, like, you know, we've got countless perfectly executed boss battles. All bosses are defeated using the, and I don't know what that is, where you're going, but... Also, I think that if you have, and maybe you mentioned this later in your description, if you do have a focus, if you're exclusively Nintendo games or first-person shooters or PC games or, you know, RPGs or whatever it is that you're doing, retro, whatever, modern, mention that so people know. Because honestly, if I saw it and it was like flawless runs of Nintendo things, because of my personal interests, I'd be more interested in clicking. But you got 2.2K subscribers, so you're doing all right. You got double what I got. Pausing your channel trailer there, but I saw the graphic that was starting. I like it. It's kind of the NBC, the more you know thing from the 90s. That's kind of cool. So that's nice. I like the banner, perfectly executed boss battles. That's cool. The gray characters, I don't know. Like, I was looking at the Boo, and it took me a little while to realize it was Boo, partly because he's got like 2 mini Boos floating out of him, which is kind of weird. But I wonder if maybe increasing the contrast or maybe trying color. That color could be tricky because they're against a multicolored background. But I think those could pop a little better. But I like perfectly executed boss battles. That's great. You got a link to something here I'm not familiar with. G2A. I'm guessing that's a gaming thing. And PayPal as well. See my Twitter rant from earlier. If you didn't catch it, I also have a video here on this channel where you can watch me rant about why you should have Twitter, because it you know, just do the easy, lazy Twitter. Bare minimum. Okay, so welcome to my channel. Again, welcome to my channel. Just drop that. You're wasting space. And like, yeah, I can see, oh, Asterix and Obelix and a boy and his blob. That's cool. When I rebought a Game Boy, it came with a handful of games. It included Asterix and Obelix for the Game Boy, which I think was a European release. I'm not sure. I haven't actually had a chance to play it yet. Uploads, perfectly executed boss battles, compilations, Crash Bandicoot, Kirby games, Pac-Man games. Nice. Super Mario games. Cool. The thumbnails are super consistent, which is not a bad thing, but that also, they look very similar. So it would be easy for someone to think that they'd already watched a video but maybe they hadn't. And also to make it pop a little bit more. I'm not sure exactly what you could do. Maybe make the character, the boss that you defeated, larger and in color, but behind the text. That might work. And that way you can have your consistent look, but still very clearly be identifiable for what it is. I see you have related channels, but you don't have channels you specifically pick to link to. I highly recommend you do. I know that there's a concern about driving traffic away from your channel. I don't know if it's your concern, but people have that. And again, session watch time is important. If I watch your trailer, then I click on some other channel, and I watch that channel for 2 hours. That 2 hours does give you a form of credit in the algorithm because you brought me here and you sent me somewhere that kept me on the platform, and YouTube loves to keep people on the platform. So I would say activate that. YouTube likes it when you use all their tools. I think it helps you in the algorithm, and it would show people in the community, either the creator community or the boss fight community or whatever, the gaming community, that you support and you're part of that community. So I think that that would help. I don't need to look at your playlist because I know you got a lot. Chanalytics. No damage boss battles. No damage boss fights. Boss fights. No, this is good. Boss rush. Yeah, no, those keywords are pretty on point. It's probably partly how you have the subscribers that you do. And you're probably skilled, I would imagine. So that probably helps too. Let's check your about page. So it's interesting. You don't have an email contact. So let's say that there's an indie developer that, for whatever reason, maybe their game is nothing but boss fights. And they would love for you to make some videos about their product. And maybe they'd be willing to give you the game for free. Maybe they'd be willing to give you the game for free and sponsor one of your videos. Would you be open to something like that? And if the answer is yes, then you need to go in here and provide some more contact information. So you can, under details, add your email in a way that people have to click on it to see it, so it won't get too much spam versus just putting it in text anywhere. But I think that as you get bigger, that becomes more and more important because you don't know what opportunities might be out there for you that might be amazing. And maybe you're thinking you're too small. Maybe you're thinking 2,256 subscribers is not enough to get the right people's notice. Let me tell you about Rule of 2 reviews. I was at Portland Retro Gaming Expo in line to see James Rolfe of Cinemassacre, the angry video game nerd himself, or Board James if you prefer. And the guy in front of me and his girlfriend, I got to talking with them because the lineup was, you know, pretty long, and it was taking his time. It was moving, but it was long. A lot of people liked that guy. He's great. I got a t-shirt. It's great. And we got to talking about YouTube. And so he's sort of like a vlogger about gaming news. and things like that. And as we're there, he's checking his phone every now and then. I'm like, hey, is everything all right? He goes, no, I'm checking my subscriber count. And I'm like, really? Okay, I would do that too, but they don't change that often for me. This was like before I had 100, just a couple years ago. And soon you'll realize exactly when this was. It's easy to figure out. Portland Retro Gaming Expo always happens in October. So I'm talking to him, and he says, I'm about to hit 5,000 subscribers. I'm like, wow, man, that's amazing. And he goes, yeah, well, that's not even the thing. I've been contacted by Nintendo. And basically, Nintendo reached out to him and said that once he reached 5,000 subscribers, they would fly him out to New York to try the Nintendo Switch before its release. 5,000 subscribers. I don't know what else the guy necessarily had going for him. I've checked a few of his videos, and I like him, and he's really active on Twitter. Super, super nice guy. If you're interested in gaming news and stuff like that, check him out. Ruled to Review. Say Vacation Impossible sent you. He might remember, because he subscribed, and he actually tweeted about me a couple of times to kind of help give me a little leg up, which I really appreciate. It was very nice of him. And you know, he was really encouraging, talking about how, you know, you'll hit 100, and once you hit 100, it gets easier. Once you hit 1,000, it gets easier. And I've kept that advice in the back of my mind as I'm going through my YouTube journey. But that was all it took, 5,000. And that's just a little over double what you're at right now. So, I mean, there's no guarantee of success. We could lose all of our subscribers tomorrow, but there's no guarantee of failure either. So be prepared for success so that success is easier when it comes. And so that's my argument for having another way of contacting you. Twitter in the social links, and an email under details, so it's partially masked. You got 1.8 million views. Soon to be 1.9 million. You know, and you've only been at the game since 2014. That's really impressive. You probably got some skills. Just talking about the gaming world, I am a participant in the Mario Marathon, which is an annual charity event for Child's Play Charity that takes place in June or July in Indianapolis. I actually fly there from Vancouver to participate. I'm known as Cowman on that charity activity, which is amazing. One time, we pulled a bit of a prank on the audience, and it went like this. We were falling behind in the schedule. What we do is we played all the Mario games, all the main sequence Mario games from beginning to end, but not in order, to raise money for children's hospitals. And we were behind by like an entire game, and Super Mario World was coming up. And so Jed, the musical act, knew a guy who was like the number 7 speedrunner for Super Mario World, like in the world, and he lived nearby. So he called him up, and they brought him over as just like some guy. They didn't tell the audience who he was. They sat him down, and then somebody was like, oh, dinner's ready, and then everyone but him left. And so he's just this guy sitting there by himself and goes, oh. And it was part of the gag, the prank. He was like, oh, I haven't played this since forever. I'll give it a try. And then he speedruns that sucker. Now, they forgot to put the TV in game mode, so it wasn't a perfect speedrun. It wasn't a great speedrun. But the fact that he was really good at that particular game got him onto that show that has a lot of viewers. That show hasn't helped my Vacation Impossible brand just because it's a gaming show and I'm a travel channel. They don't overlap very much. But what if something like that were to happen to you? How would they reach you? How would they get in contact with you? And if it was just a comment on a video, would you see it? Would you believe them? So that's sort of my rant. But on that note, I think I'm going to kind of end it there. But I have been doing challenges recently, and I didn't prepare one for today. So I need to think of a good challenge to give everyone. What would it be? Yeah, you know what? It's what I said earlier. Your challenge, if you choose to accept it, because I'm Vacation Impossible, your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to go look at your channel description or the description of one of your recent videos and ask yourself, is this good enough to be the description for a Netflix show or episode? Is this good enough to be a description on a cable box or on a TV guide or whatever? You know, maybe you've got a pay-per-view interface or, you know, on-demand video interface, Crave TV, all these other sorts of services, Hulu, whatever. Would this be good enough for there? Amazon Prime Video. Would it be good enough for there? If not, what would it take to get it there? So that's my challenge to you. Do that for your channel description or one of your most recent videos. And good luck creating out there, and we'll see you in the Small YouTubers Boost Facebook group. Thanks for watching. This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds.